Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack, and I am super pleased to be bringing you some live tournament action starting here on Shattered Temple, MLG's version thereof. We are going to be watching one of our favorites lately, SouthPaw, taking on a new guy, a newcomer to our alt StarCraft tournament scene. His name is Mellodist from XPN. I wonder what XPN is, but Mellodist, I like the name. That's actually kind of cool. Makes me want to change my name to something cool like that. Knack is not too bad, though. Come on, it's not that bad. But it is going to be TvT, and both of these guys are Korean players. SouthPaw, I know, is a GM on the Korean server. I don't know about Mellodist, but here on the American server, or the US server, whatever you want to call it, he is a master-level player, so definitely has got some serious skill there. And, I mean, if he's playing on both servers, that's usually a telltale sign that his gaming skills are where they need to be. So I'm expecting some fireworks here from these players. Going to be going for wall-offs here, almost identical builds at this point. Wall-offs from both. Mostly probably to deny scouting. That is probably a good idea. But I'm real interested. I always love watching SouthPaw, so I'm hoping that Mellodist is going to kind of have a similar playstyle in a lot of ways, because SouthPaw is just so unpredictable. I mean, you just never know what he's going to be going sometimes. And he tech switches so quickly. It's unbelievable. So super excited for this. I'm interested to see if Mellodist is going to have what it takes to roll with SouthPaw. Because really, last week, SouthPaw, yeah, he had some good opponents. But, man, he just went almost unchecked the entire time. And taking down his second alt StarCraft tournament in a row last week. So and the week before was his first, obviously. But yeah, really great player we found there. Here is his scout. He is going to be cruising in here, getting some good scouting information. He is going to see double gas, so this is indicative of a very tech-heavy build. Double gas, yep. And no, just one gas right now for SouthPaw. So SouthPaw going to be sticking probably with maybe some earlier harass, potentially. I'm going to guess at this point probably Hellions. We'll see what he's got for us, though. Wall-in going to be working on here for Mellodist. He's going to have another supply depot going down, completing the wall-in, I assume, with a third supply depot right there. SouthPaw still getting a lot of good scouting information in with this SCV. Does see the double gas here yet again, making sure his opponent is still mining both gas. Cruising around. We are about to have a Reaper on the field. Look at this. He does scout the factory. Mellodist couldn't wait to kill that probe, that SCV before he had to put down his factory there. So that tech was definitely scouted there by SouthPaw. SouthPaw knows what's going. He did see the Reaper as well. Reaper coming into this base is the first scouting from Mellodist. So he's taken his time getting his scouting information. He's really playing blind against SouthPaw right now. SouthPaw going to have a couple Marines in here for defense. Here comes the Reaper, though. Don't fear the Reaper. But in this case, the Reaper definitely has got something to fear. He is going to go down and quite honestly did not get enough scouting information. Look at this. The only thing he saw was this barracks with the reactor going down. So kind of interesting. He should have just ran over there and I think got some scouting information. But he would have seen a factory, would have seen the starport going down behind it, and now SouthPaw is going to have a pretty nice looking build. He does have his second gas. Mellodist sending out an SCV here, probably to do some more scouting, I'm guessing. Maybe just maintain a little map control. Oh yeah, he's just going to sit here at the Zelnaga. Not a bad idea. Oh, look at that, letting the SCV in the base there just to take it out with the Hellion. But he did, however, reveal... Did he see... Oh, he didn't see it. Okay, he didn't see the buildings there. Okay, so Mellodist got a little lucky there. Almost made it over to see that tech. Would have seen the starport, but he did see the factory with the tech lab. So he's going to probably guess Blue Flame Hellions at this point, since he did see that first Hellion out there. So Blue Flame Hellions it is, and we are going to have some Vikings on the field as well. And at this moment, we have a couple Marines kicking it out here at the Zelnaga Tower. These guys are about to be in a little bit of trouble. To these Hellions, one going down. 2 and 3 going down, but they actually did soften up all 3 of the Hellions pretty nicely. This one at almost half HP. Let's take a look there. Yeah, almost half HP. So nicely done by Southpaw. And speaking to his compatriot, or opponent I should say, in Korean there, I wonder what that says. If you guys out there on YouTube or something, or even on the live stream, if you know what they're saying, I would love to hear what these guys are talking about in their Korean chat there. So that is actually kind of fun to see. But yeah, a couple of, he still has 4 blue flame Hellions kicking it out here in the center of the map. And now we're pumping out Hellions from this reactor. So going to be going very Hellion heavy here for just a little while. Getting Vikings out. Does have a Raven on the field. That point defense drone going to be super effective. Oh, look at these Hellions coming back for some repair action. Got to love that. The expand here for Mellodist going down. And no expand quite yet from Southpaw, so these guys have really taken their time on the expansions. Here we are at 8.5 minutes into the game, and only one player working on an expand that hasn't even gone out yet. So kind of interesting. Here comes the attack. Tanks sieging up. Going to be able to do a lot of damage here, it's looking like. Look at that. Mellodist having to pull a lot of SCVs to clean this up the way that he wants. This siege tank in the back blasting away and doing a heck of a lot of damage there. Now, this is definitely held off here by Mellodist, but at what cost is the question. Units lost is going to show that Southpaw did indeed lose more, but units lost, units is going to show that Mellodist sacrificed a lot of SCVs to make that happen. So, my goodness, he is down to 13 SCVs. Lucky for him, he is going to have this extra command center. He is definitely going to need it right now. Definitely going to need this command center. Got the double orbitals to call down those mules. Gonna need every single last one and start pumping out more SCVs. He's got to get himself back in this game economically. He did hold that off in decent style, but man, that was costly with those SCV losses. Taking a look here, we do have commands that are going down for Southpaw. He's taking it easy here. This is interesting plays. 10 minutes into the game before he's getting his expand going down. He's got a good defensive position here with his siege tanks. Blue Flame now on the way for him as well. Mellodist trying to get a little bit of an idea what's going on here. Does not see much action on the low ground there, so knows that there's no expand at this point. He probably can guess that there's one on the way, and from this, he didn't scout it obviously, but from this position it's going to be a little bit of a flight pattern, so it will take him just a little bit longer to get that expand down. This SCV going to run into a Marauder who does not want to chase him down, and this SCV going to get a little bit of scouting information, maybe. Oh, no. Blue Flame Hellion saying, forget that, no more information for you, buddy. Let's check the units tab, see how close Mellodist is getting to catching up. Not too bad, he's at 25 SCVs, so he's just about caught up. But man, that was a brutal loss. There he goes with the saturation, going to be getting double gas here. And we do have the orbital command up and running now for Southpaw, cruising down to the low ground, so I half expect to see this sucker start flying over there here in just a moment. Bunker going down on the low ground here for Southpaw. Look at that siege line, that's nice. Good looking stuff there. And there goes the orbital. So the expand for Southpaw going to be behind his opponents, which is kind of funny here at the 12-minute mark. But that is okay. These guys absolutely know what they're doing. Good game so far. And I do like that Mellodist has been able to catch up here economically. So he's kind of back in this game in a small way. Obviously he's got a little bit of ground to make up with his army size. All he's got at this point really is just these Hellions. So he's starting to pump out some Banshees here and some Vikings. He's got these guys on a flight pattern in the back. 3 Vikings, 1 Raven. There's the Banshee. The Banshee is super effective. I like this unit composition here. It's really going to help him deal with the tanks. If he can maintain the air superiority, then he can just kind of use that Banshee to harass the tanks, forcing his opponent to back out, either that or lose tanks. So this is a nice composition here. Oh, look at that. wrecked carrier there. Looks like either a wrecked carrier or a void ray, I guess, carrier. Hellions here at the front, and Mellodist going to be cruising out. Knows that he's got a slight advantage in Hellion numbers, forcing SouthPaw to back out there. But these tanks, this tank line looking pretty solid. Let's take a look at what we've got here. Nice air army right now for Mellodist. I'd like to see some tanks from him. Let's see what he's got. Yep, there's a tank. And more Hellions. Really sticking with this Hellion heavy army, so this is kind of interesting stuff. Excuse me, my goodness. I'm going to get some Coke. Got to get some good old Coca-Cola in me. That'll help my throat. Wonderful. Oh! GG. Okay, I'm mystified here. It is a best of 3, but SouthPaw just GG'd out of the game. So, kind of strange, but it is what it is. So, thank you guys for watching, I guess. Don't alt-tab, always alt StarCraft, and I hope we'll see SouthPaw in game number 2, but my goodness, that's strange. So, we'll see what happened there. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Snack, and we have got live tournament action coming at you right now on MLG's Xel'Naga Caverns. We do have Game 2 between PswSouthPaw and Mellodist. And SouthPaw did lose game number 1 in a very, very interesting turn of events. He was way ahead in a lot of respects, and especially even in the army size. But Mellodist did make a nice tech switch to Banshees and air superiority, and as soon as SouthPaw saw the movement out across the map, he knew that he wasn't prepared, and he GG'd instantly, it was very surprising to me. He didn't even wait for the attack to come. He just GG'd right on out of the game. So, I mean, usually I don't like to see that, I'll be honest. I mean, I would rather see people at least give it a good, solid, the good old college try. But, I mean, I don't blame him there. I mean, he knows that attack is going to go extremely well for Mellodist. But, oh my goodness, look at this. What is this? Supply depot? Huh, sure enough. That's strange. I've never seen a proxy supply depot. But, I mean, new things all the time. Got to love it. We will be learning here from Mellodist how to do a proxy supply depot. So this will be kind of fun. Proxy supply depot. There goes a barracks on the high ground here for SouthPaw at his entrance. He is not going to have a Marine out quite as fast as his opponent. Let's watch the units tab here for just a moment, though. Mellodist really sacrificing his SCV count to make this happen, obviously. 2 racks rush here in the back of the base. I see what he's doing. He's going to back him up there behind the buildings. Not a bad play there. Interesting. And then he can lift these buildings off. That's kind of fun. I like this. So, yeah, but SouthPaw has got to get some units out here because we do have 1 Marine about to come out for Mellodist. So, very, very early. Marine here. Here comes the Marine number 1 back there in the back. Double SCVs here. The wall off here for SouthPaw. Going down. Now, the nice thing for SouthPaw is he is going to have a slight SCV advantage. And that's going to come in pretty handy here in this attack because it is about to go. We've got a couple Marines here and a couple SCVs about to make an attack, it looks like. And here comes the attack. 3 Marines, 2 SCVs. Nice. Made his own little choke there. You gotta love it. It's SouthPaw. He said something. It doesn't look nice, I can tell you that. Oh, but that is a lot of Marines, and it's looking like Mellodist going to be taking down game number 2 here off of this rush on Xel'Naga. I cannot believe what we're seeing here. And SouthPaw, one of our picks, favorites to win in a lot of ways. And this is just absolutely brutal. There goes the Hellion. Looks like he is going to be cleaning up pretty decent here for just a moment. But, man, the SCV losses are mounting. for Southpaw. Units tab showing he is down to 9. And lifting off the barracks. Oh, wow. So nicely done there by Southpaw. Now Southpaw got to get back into the business of building SCVs as quickly as possible. And the nice thing for him is he is going to have a slight tech advantage here for just a moment. And he is going to get a free supply depot kill. I like that part of it too. Icefire yelling at me out there on the live stream, telling me I'm supposed to remind him about the tournaments. I did forget to do that, so I'm sure sorry about that, buddy. Yeah, but Act 2 did say that he thinks that Southpaw is going to be fine, the tech advantage, and he doesn't think that Mellodist has the orbital yet, and he was correct. At that point, he did not. He just barely completed that. I was watching it up there. We saw that as we just went over to his base, but Mellodist is going to be taking an expand here right away. I like that play. Starpart, though, going down for Southpaw immediately as well, so I'm liking this. He's going to continue teching here. Probably going to be getting his second gas here in just a moment. And these poor old, what do you call them, barracks flying out across the map, taking a heck of a long time to get there. And these Hellions actually doing a pretty decent amount of damage. Oh, wow, he got the kill on that. Unbelievable. And GG from Mellodist, just like that. Could not hold off those Hellions. So nicely done there by Southpaw. I'll tell you what, though, this is interesting. I'm glad that these guys are making these decisions, but I cannot call these games right now, I'll be honest. But don't alt tab, always alt StarCraft. We will see you guys here in Game 3. I mean, who would have guessed? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. Super excited to be bringing you Game 3 in this semifinal matchup. This is the last game of their best of 3, obviously, 3 out of 3. You guys are good at math too, I assume. But it is Mellodist versus Southpaw. Southpaw, unbelievable player. I've definitely been very impressed with his play style. But I have had a lot of trouble calling these games between these two guys. Both of these guys, Korean players. Oh, I didn't even notice this. Look at his nice little decal there, the panda decal. That is beautiful. My goodness, that looks great. But yeah, so Mellodist and Southpaw, boy, these guys play on a different level than I am used to. That is for sure. But they're going to be spawning here on MLG's Typhon Peaks. Southpaw up here at the top as yellow, top right. And Mellodist at the bottom right as blue. Yet again, our Terran versus Terran matchup. This is going to be phenomenal stuff. Wall off going down for both of them, it looks like. Yeah, I think you're right, Icefire. I think that the Panda comes with 1,000 games as random. So Mellodist is extremely good. And that's pretty fun. Let's take a look at the decal here. Oh, look at that. Southpaw is just sporting his standard Terran decal there. Gotta love it. But he is going to have a gas going down here. And a gas going down for Mellodist here. Slightly behind Southpaw. Southpaw's is complete and already harvesting Vespine gas. First barracks here for Southpaw. My goodness. And a barracks here for Mellodist as well. Looking pretty similar at this point. Uh-oh. Second refinery going down for Mellodist. This does mean tech. And we will see how this is going to go. But it's interesting to note here that neither player has scouted outside of their base quite yet. So, kind of interesting here. Maybe they feel like they know their opponent's playstyle and aren't going to be necessarily trying to go check it out right away. But let's see how that looks on that barracks. That looks nice. I like that decal. Orbital command here going down for both players. Southpaw slightly behind, just barely getting that started, and Mellodist just now finishing. But we do have a factory here for Southpaw. No gas, or second gas rather, for Southpaw quite yet. Just still on the single gas. We do have this double gas now fully mining, fully saturated here for Mellodist. And, oh, denied the factory on one side and putting it down on the other instead. Nice control there by Mellodist, and Southpaw happy enough, did see double gas, did see the factory going down, and just bailed immediately. And now is chatting with his opponent. Got to love it. Man, I wish I could read Korean. I honestly think I'm going to learn Korean because of that. That's making me want to know what they're saying. I'm going to learn Korean. I'm doing it. I'm dead serious. I'm going to go buy the, what do you call it, Rosetta Stone for Korean or whatever. You know, those Rosetta Stone programs? That's what I'm doing. Oh, Arctic Chicken out there on the live stream. Yeah, I would, if you guys would definitely give him as much advice as you can. I mean, he's about to be going up against very, very scary... Oh, wait, I mean, not him, but his opponent is. But in next week, he's going to be coming back. He needs to know what is going on. What? What are you calling BS on? Icefire? What's BS stand for? Don't type that out. Okay, so yeah, we do have Banshees on the way. I'm guessing that's what Banshees stand for, or BS stands for, is what Icefire was talking about. Oh, you think, that's what you're saying? I cannot believe this lack of faith, Icefire. Unbelievable. Oh, you're fired, buddy. You are fired. I am learning Korean. I'm dead serious. I'm gonna go get my Rosetta Stone. I'm serious. Wonder how much it costs. Hope it's not over 300. But yeah, look at this. We do have Mellodist cruising in here with a very, very pesky Reaper. I didn't realize how good Reapers are against Hellions. I mean, not against two, obviously, but that is pretty funny. And these nice Hellions getting repaired as quickly as possible by these loving, caring SCVs who are now going back to the mineral line, and Command Center going down for Southpaw. So far, nice defense here by Southpaw, cruising out across the map right now, going to look to put on some pressure here. He does have quite a few Hellions. Roasted. Dead SCV, and he does have the Banshee. This is a nice combo here. I'm actually quite liking it. The Banshee is actually going to be doing a lot more damage to the buildings than the Hellions are, so that's actually kind of nice. And he does have air superiority right now, a Viking in tow for defense. Do have a Raven coming out first here for Mellodist from his starport. That is kind of interesting, so going to be interested to see how that's going to play out. And Act 2, this is great. Oh, Act 2. So now Act 2 speaking Korean out on the live stream, giving me yet another reason to learn Korean. And if you guys think I'm joking, you Icefire, especially you're dead wrong. I am learning Korean. I'm so serious right now. I can't even tell you. But here goes the Command Center for Mellodist. The Command Center over here for Southpaw is just about to complete, I imagine, going straight for Orbital Command here as well. Indeed it is. Boy, that's talk about quick, man. These guys really know how to do it. Yeah, thanks a lot, Act 2. Laughing at me now. He's speaking in Korean on my live stream and then laughs at me because I can't read what he's saying. Gotta love these guys. Unbelievable. But he does believe me. Okay, that's good. As long as Icefire believes that I'm going to learn Korean, I'm happy. Now I don't have to learn it because he believes me. But yeah, a lot of factories for Mellodist. Took the words right out of my mouth, Act 2. We are definitely seeing a lot of factories here. My guess is that he's probably going to try and pump out some Thors, but I haven't seen his, what do you call it, engineering bay quite yet. But maybe just going to be going for some hefty tanks. I don't know. I mean, interesting. Interesting play here. He's getting a reactor on this one, so I'm guessing more Hellions there. Or tanks. Probably just for tanks. I don't know. This is kind of interesting, but he does have double starports. Oh, wow. Look at that decal in the center of the starports. That looks phenomenal. I want that decal now. It makes me want to go start playing ladder a lot more. Maybe I'll quit casting for a while and ladder and learn Korean, and then come back when I'm done. We will see. But this expand here for Mellodist is starting to crack me up, actually. Because if this is not spotted, this is actually very, very brilliant. But Banshees, or not Banshees, Hellions rather, just there getting spotted there. Southpaw backing out immediately as soon as he was scouted there. And now speaking in Korean yet again. And taking his expand here at the natural, as well as about to complete this expand clear across the map. So kind of fun stuff here. But SouthPaw does have a pretty nice looking force cruising out across the map. Going to look to potentially sneak up on his opponent here and do some damage to the expand. I think he realizes at this point that it is up and running. Look at that. And Mellodist going back here. He's on like a patrol here. Look at that. Yeah, he's patrolling the back. Cruising out here with an SCV. This SCV is going to find the Blue Flame Gold Mine. He has found a lot of Hellions camping out here in the center of the map. Here comes a Hellion to confirm what he found. Not a great idea. Always trust your SCV scouts when they die that quickly. Oh, man. Oh, days by. So that's what he was saying. No, this is not the finals, Act 2. This is the other semifinal match. It is the final of the semifinal, if that makes sense. This is it. This is the determining game right here between these two. So, pretty good stuff, man. Look at this. Very rarely do you see the barracks being floated for scouting. It's very common to see somebody floating off their, their single, what do you call it, factory to use for scouting information, but he is actually going to be using his barracks for that right now. Nice looking army here, going to be taking out these rocks, looking like SouthPaw going to go for an attack here in just a moment. He's got a good unit composition here. I actually quite like it. Let's take a look at the force here for Mellodist. He's got a decent number of Vikings here, but they are out of position right now. So, oh, but look at this. Sensor tower going to be going down. Plus, they will scout these rocks being destroyed here in just a moment. Should SouthPaw decide to do so anyway, we'll see what the case is going to be. Sensor tower complete. So, here come the forces from Mellodist. Definitely going to be in decent position here. Nice air superiority. This is going to go, I think, pretty well for SouthPaw here for just a moment. Mellodist has got a little bit of ground to make up. He's really been focusing on getting his economy roaring. And so now you can see him trying to pump out a whole bunch of Vikings and some Banshees. Going to be super effective there. Oh, good job. Nice kiting there with these Vikings from SouthPaw. Looking to do a great deal of damage here. Oh, and snipe that Banshee. That was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And these rocks about to go down, going to give SouthPaw free reign into his opponent's natural here. The one thing that Mellodist does really have going for him, though, is this hidden third. So this is very, very interesting play. Oh, man, whose Vikings are going to die first? That is the question. Looks like SouthPaw's air army about to be depleted. But the ground army for Mellodist is going to die. Oh, my goodness. Now, SouthPaw going to be cruising in here doing a lot of economic damage. Oh, these SCVs are about to die to these Blue Flame Hellions, and down they go. My goodness. And, wow, the air army here for Mellodist, yeah, it lived, but there's only three left. Having to land these guys, that is not a fun feeling, especially with this many Vikings and siege tanks behind. But the Vikings actually do a great deal of damage to these Hellions, so these Hellions have to be super careful. But a lot of damage done here, a lot. Units tab is going to show that Mellodist is indeed down to 30 SCVs to SouthPaw's 48. My goodness, and this attack continuing. Thor's now on the field. These guys are going to do a severe amount of damage, but I don't know. I just don't think Mellodist is honestly going to be able to hold on here. He's trying to mass up an army here in his main to deal with this army. He did clean up those red Hellions there from SouthPaw, so that was actually good. I mean, that worked in his favor there for just a moment. That's got to make him fairly happy. But now we've got tanks. These tanks are going to be able to do a lot of damage to these Hellions, as well as the Thors. Here come all the SCVs. Mellodist trying everything he can to hold on here. Is he going to be able to hold on? It does not look like it. He is going to have a lot of trouble here. These tanks are still alive. These Thors still whapping away, doing a lot of damage here. SouthPaw looking to be in pretty decent shape. And there it is, I assume. GG, yes it is there at the end. Very, very well played there by Southpaw, and yet again, third week in a row, we will see Southpaw going to the finals. Congratulations, buddy. And Mellodist, my goodness, I want to see you back next week. And everybody out there on the live stream, you guys better go into that channel and tell Mellodist you want to see him come back too. Tell him that he's awesome. Give that guy a big fat high five. He is phenomenal. So let's do this. We'll be going into the finals here in just a second. It will be Southpaw versus Al My Groin, Terran versus Zerg. Thank you guys for coming out. Don't alt tab, always alt StarCraft. We will see you guys in just a bit.